Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Albers, joined here with Brad Ellis, bringing you the second annual Anderson-Turpin alumni game. And crowd doesn't look as big as it was last year, but people are still kind of pulling in here. And Brad and I will probably do the best that we can with what we got. We have no names and numbers on the backs of these jerseys, so we'll do the best that we can. We apologize if we don't get as many as we can, but we do know a couple names, a couple people. Obviously, one that I do know is my brother Moose playing for Anderson, so I will definitely give him a hard time. Anderson's going to be in the black, and Turpin will be in the white. So it's always neat to see these games, Brad. I know you weren't here last year for it. Last year was absolutely packed, and it was great to see that even though you had that rivalry, you had guys hugging each other. It was pretty neat.
Well, as we grow old, and some are older than others, the rivalry thing goes away a little bit, and you realize that, you're still rivals, but you're not competitors because, well, everybody knows that you can't play the way you did a few years ago. But we do have some alumni in charge of several things here. Scott Springer, Anderson class of 79, will be our PA announcer. Glenn Perry, Anderson class of 75, is one of the officials, along with Mike Condon. And like you said, we have a bunch of people from both sides, and we'll try to get a glimpse of everybody as Scott announces or introduces everybody, because we
need it.
We are both Anderson grads, and we honestly don't know a lot of the Turpin guys.
Right. So, obviously, hopefully we'll get some help from that, but we do know that Phil Sinkovich, my old coach, your brother's old coach at Anderson, will be coaching the Anderson side, and Mr. Watterson.
Yes.
Good to see him. He's coaching the Turpin side. But before I get started, I want to thank Tony Hemmelgard here at Turpin High School. He's providing us the ability to broadcast this game not only live on Anderson Community Television, but live on the internet on USBN Sports. So appreciate Tony Hemmelgard and everybody here at Turpin High School for their support. And it's really we're seeing a lot of people that you and I probably haven't seen in a while.
No, and haven't seen it for a while, and it would take an introduction for us to even recognize a lot of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll hopefully we'll get. I think Rick Anderson's getting ready to speak here in a few minutes, and we'll get hopefully some about what this is all about. And obviously, it's for the Forest Hills Foundation for Education, and that's what this is all about.
There you go.
So here you see Rick Anderson. We'll listen to him for a little bit. On the bottom, I really don't know if they're going to be able to hear all this with
probably
how far
not,
away the camera is. But
what we can just say is that he's acknowledging a lot of people, and also acknowledging the idea that tonight is for that Forest Hills Foundation for Education.
Yeah, it's not just only for one school or the other. It's not for Turpin. It's not for Anderson. It's actually for
the district.
For the district in Forest Hills. So. Yeah, it really is a neat thing that they're doing.
Rick's just introduced Dee Stone, who is the PTA president for Anderson. Phil looks nervous, Dan.
Yep.
Pacing the bench.
Hey, Phil, have you ever won here? Have you ever won here before?
Huh? So kind of you.
Yeah, just joking with Phil here. Just ask him if he ever won here before.
Hey, for the record, I have some history here at Turpin, too.
You don't want to know my history here. You probably were in attendance when it happened.
Well, no, probably that, but I was actually a coach here for 1 year.
Oh, were you really?
I coached girls JV basketball under Mike Center.
Really?
1982.
And how was your record there, buddy?
I coached girls JV basketball for Mike Center.
Well, what was your record?
It wasn't very good. Coach Center would say he would sit on a bench and go, Coach, it's been 2 or 3 minutes since you scored. Coach, it's been 2 or 3 minutes since you shot. And I would say, Coach, next year they're yours.
Well, we just were given my famous moment or infamous moment is Anderson Turpin game. I never played, and you remember that. Sat on a bench. I kept my sweats on. When we got in foul trouble, and Sinkovich yells for me to get it in, I couldn't get my sweatpants off. Packed house, and everybody's screaming and yelling at me. So hopefully we'll get you and I will get some help.
Yeah, and speaking of celebrities, former Yankee.
Yeah, Jim Lehretz. We had an interview with him before the game. We'll have that obviously at some point during this broadcast. We'll probably put it on at halftime, and then they got other people in the community involved. They got the Rappin' Ropers or whatever from Sherwood. They're going to be.
Honestly, those guys are amazing.
I get tired watching them. I mean, they jump one time and I'm ready to pass out.
For the record, I used to be able to do that.
For the record, I couldn't.
That was several hundred pounds ago.
So here we are getting ready to start this game, and so they're talking about just the boosters. And, to be honest with you, I don't think it's – we were talking a little bit – don't know if it should be an every year thing, maybe an every other year thing, just because there was a ton of excitement. Not there's not excitement here now, but it just doesn't look as big as it did last year.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because Turpin's gym's bigger. I don't know. But, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see when these guys will pass out.
Are we taking bets on who's going to go first?
I believe my brother Moose might be one of the first ones to kind of to pass out. Yeah.
But you also have to realize that when you're better off not on a floor.
And you and I.
Thank you.
We are. That's why we're up here. So. And as we said, they might mistake you and I for a basketball.
Start dribbling us.
So there you got Scott Springer. He's a graduate of Anderson High School, and everybody probably knows him from
Radio
700 WLW. So you got him announcing and seeing who we got here, and I don't know if they're going to introduce the starters.
Yeah, he is.
Or no, he's going to introduce everybody, I think.
So we got to watch.
So we got the national. So they're going to do
Whitesides.
Okay, we're going to go with White Sox. How about that?
Whitesides.
Mike Albers. How about that? Moose. Got the Moose man.
Luke Frainer, class of 79 for Turpin.
Going obviously in alphabetical order. Maybe not. So here you got. Did you get this one?
Luke Warren Beebe.
Got Rick Anderson, who kind of runs all this. Class of 85, Tyler Burdick. Big goofball.
Mike Cash. That's who that is. Class of 1980.
Chris Francis.
Class of 80, thank you very much.
Here we go. No, I didn't see who this
Dan
one.
Keefe.
Dave Giulio, class of 1983 from Anderson High School.
Jim
Lehretz. There's the former New York Yankee, Jim Lehretz.
Jack Kaniski, former Atlanta Brave.
You got Bennett. That's what I heard.
Van Etten is what it is. Van Etten.
Sorry.
Craig Van Etten. That's Brian Leary. That's Kevin Cash.
Mike Lehretz.
Mike Lehretz, Jim's brother. Class of 79, Greg Gunther.
Joe Moon. Jumpin' Joe Moon.
Jumpin' Joe Moon.
Turpin will start getting some of these younger guys.
Jeff Wunker.
And we got Rupert.
That's Tim Rupert, the big guy in the blue shorts. That's Eric Miller.
Got Paul Seibert. I believe he played last year. He played last year, I
Class
believe.
of 77.
Scott Nelson.
He had a great career at UC Claremont. Scott Nelson
Absolutely. Phil Sinkovich coaching him.
Steve Snoffer, class of 78 for the Redskins. Mike Scheck. Doug Taylor from Anderson, class of 79.
You know, I'm glad they got a lot of guys here, really. In case guys decide that they can't make it more than 2 minutes.
Jeff D'Angelo was that last one. Gary Hardawig is not here, I don't think. This is Chris Tucker from 77.
Gary Hardawig, he's
Gary
not
Hardawig
here.
is not here. Rick's not here. Rick was a heck of a quarterback.
Doug Evans for Turpin, not here.
Not here.
Bob Zoglio.
The only offense we had in 4 years.
So Turpin's got about 2 more guys here, and then we'll get ready to start this game.
That's Mark Knudsen, class of 78.
Again, it's the crowd's starting to fill up a little bit. And
Blake Zimmerman.
And we got one more here, and we got, as we
That's
said.
Kevin Keefe. Blake Zimmerman's class of 3. That's not fair.
So we got Phil Sinkovich and Coach Watterson coaching for Brandon. But, you know, really other than anything is it looks like Turpin's brought a lot of their cheerleaders, and we got the Nagel cheerleaders at halftime, so pretty nice.
You know, Jeff Watterson actually was teaching at Turpin until they split, and then he came over
went
here.
over to, yeah,
right.
and he went to Turpin.
Right.
And that's when Sander took over at.
No, I think he was Sanders' JV coach until he came over here.
Oh yeah, you're right. And
Yeah.
then Center took his spot.
Right. But I think Watterson also played.
All right, we got the national anthem going on right now.
Watterson also coached baseball.
So we'll take. Everybody's looking at us too, so that's even better.
Better sing. Christina Aguilera.
All right, what a job. That was
Nicely done.
excellent, man. That was excellent. So we're getting ready to start this Anderson Turpin alumni game, and Dan Albers, Brad Ellis here on Anderson Community Television and USBN Sports. And again, you can drop us an email at usbnsports@yahoo.com. Let us know where you're listening from, and you gonna help out? All right.
You man.
We got you here. Let me turn you up real quick. You can
gotcha.
can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
How about now? You good?
I always said I had a face for radio. So
Don't we all?
Don't turn that camera this way.
Well, you're gonna, you can kind of help out. I'll let you guys kind of go at it here. If you know the Turpin side of it, Brad probably knows a little bit of the Anderson side. So,
well, Kevin Keefe up here helping us out. Thank goodness for Turpin. So we will we will get going here.
Well, we should recognize Glenn Perry, Anderson, and Mike Condon, our
Right.
referees for tonight.
Looks like the Redskins will come out with Jack Kaninsky, Tim Rupert, Paul Seibert, Brian Leary, and Steve Snoffer going with the aged group.
Yeah, and they're matched up, same age group. Rick Anderson from Turpin, Jim Whiteside's jumping center there, Luke Frainer, Dan Keefe, and Mike Cash. So, a couple of the...
Looks like it'll be a fast-paced game.
I don't think so.
Final score 3-2.
already got a shot
Cash.
already. Puts it
First
in.
bucket of the
Turpin.
day.
Mike Cash puts it in. Give the assist to Dan Keefe.
So we got Anderson coming down the other way. They're trailing here 2-0.
Turpin drops back into a 2-3 zone. Jack Kaninsky takes a shot trying to bust the zone. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Redskins.
This is big time, man. Turpin's got the cheerleaders here. It looks like they've been practicing too.
They did. They practiced this afternoon. Yeah.
Nobody pulled anything?
No.
It looks like we got an air ball there by Anderson.
Tracy Childs Williamson has kind of the last couple of years been over the cheerleaders, and she got them all organized and practiced. Rick Anderson, some things never change.
Jack taking it to the hole, dishes back out to Paul Seibert, who gives it to Dan Keefe and Turpin, and Rick Anderson brings it back the other way.
Driving in, picking it back out.
Anderson to Whitesides from the
Oh,
line.
good God. We've had, what, 3 air balls?
Having a hard time finding the rim today.
So we still got a 2-0 score. Well, how are we doing this? Just like a regular high school game, 8-minute quarter? Is that what they're going to do?
Yeah, we're going to split it up 4 minutes.
There you go. Paul Seibert for 3 puts the Redskins up 3-2.
He still got it. He was a big-time shooter back in the day.
Did he? And he played in this last year, didn't he?
Yes.
Paul, yeah. They're not. I mean, is there a lot of guys that played in it last year or not too many?
No, actually a lot. We have about 2/3 of the guys on Turpin, and Anderson has probably about the same.
Oh, really?
Some of their key players, Mark Reed and Rick Elliott, couldn't make it.
Jack Kaninsky takes it to the hole. It's fouled by Rick Anderson, makes the basket. Jack will go to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Spartans appear to be a little defensively challenged here.
And Jack looks a little parched right now. He wants to make this free throw and try to get a sub in.
Well, that was really neat. We got to interview Jim Laritz before the game.
Yeah,
that was kind of neat to talk to him and find out how he's doing. I remember those games back in the day when it was Anderson and Turpin when those guys were playing. Those were some great games.
Well, and Laritz, I think, played in kind of a regional final team back. They were at that time went pretty far for a young school.
And he was, another air ball.
Air ball from 3.
You know, I saw the Breeze take that ball. I saw the Breeze take it. Don't be dissing on your little brother now.
So Anderson's got that 6-2 lead. Looks like Paul's going to fire up another 3-point shot. And it is no good. Run down by Turpin.
Luke Frainer still plays.
Shot is no good and controlled by Turpin. Try to get inside, but it was knocked away by Anderson.
Paul Seibert knocking it out for the Redskins on that Iron Curtain defense.
And Rick Anderson's going to fire up another shot. His shot is no good. And rebounded by Anderson. It's going to go out to Seibert.
Brian Leary controlling the boards for the Skins.
Swinging it around. I'm really bad with the older guys, so we're
That's
going to...
Tim Rupert.
Whoa!
Rupert lands a 3.
Tim Rupert was a classmate of mine. I've played with him since 7th grade. And, of course, Steve Snoffer in the Goofy Socks. He and I were teammates back. Of course, we were at Anderson for our freshman and sophomore years, so we played freshman and JV ball together.
Basket is no good. Rebounded by Seibert for Anderson.
The lid is definitely on the basket for the Spartans.
And try to get inside. It's going to be knocked away and out of bounds. So, again, as we said, we got to thank Tony Helmelgard here, AD, for Turpin, for letting us get on the Internet and bringing that slide so everybody out there is watching us live on the Internet. That's pretty neat.
This is great.
Look at Dan D'ing up down there.
Yeah.
3-point
Oh, my
attempt.
goodness.
Wow, it's another one.
Coach, we need a timeout.
Snoffer with the 3. The Redskins take a 12-2 lead, right?
That may be the first shot Snoffer ever made in an Anderson uniform.
You know, we saw this last year. One of the teams broke out to a big lead. I think Anderson did, and then Turpin came back and had the lead at half, I believe, wasn't it, last year?
Right, correct.
So it just kept going back and forth, and then Anderson ended up pulling it out.
Snoffer hits a 2.
Timeout, Coach.
Coach Watterson.
So Anderson's got a 14-12 lead. And I'd hate to say this, but Phil Sinkovich has been in this situation before and it's blown it. So ball goes out of bounds. I was joking with Coach Sinkovich there that asked him if he's ever won here at Turpin High School.
Coach
so yeah, Turpin is going to call a timeout.
They do take a timeout to talk about it. Of course,
well,
the Redskins are shooting about 90% so far.
I think Steve Snoffer called timeout to help his buddy Tim Rupert out. He was very winded. It's the most Tim's run since about 1978.
I'm pretty impressed that we've gone 3.5 minutes and nobody's pulled up lame yet.
Just talk about, I mean.
Hey, you've hit your quota, 44, no more. No more shooting 44.
So obviously I'll be giving my my brother when he gets in there. I'll give him a hard time to go. So Anderson up here 14-2. We got about 4:29 to go in this first quarter.
Well, Turpin's bringing in their first set of subs. We got Kevin Cash, brother of Mike, who started.
Jim
Lawrence is in. We've got Craig Van Etten, who's the tall guy in the middle. Greg Gunther, who's class of 79, and Jeff Wonker, small point guard.
So Anderson will probably be bringing in some guys. Looks like Sinkovich is trying to get them measured up.
Turpin stays in that 2-3 zone.
Now run it while you got it.
Driving all the way in. There's going to be a foul.
Snoffer got the chicken wing out.
Yeah.
Is that Wonker going to the line?
Jeff Wonker shooting 2, and it's probably the first 2 shots he's taken from a free throw line in 20 years.
We've got Joe Moon looking over the roster with Coach Sinkovich.
And first free throw is no good.
Jeff's sister Karen was class of 79, was a longtime Turpin cheerleader, and she couldn't make it. She's living in Seattle.
And next one goes in, rolls right in. Coming down quickly now is going to be Anderson, and they're up 14-3.
I'd pull the ball out. Take some air out of it.
Yeah.
Snoffer for 3.
Air ball this time.
That's the Steve Snoffer we remember.
Coming down the other way now is going to be Turpin. Oh, behind his back pass. Driving all the way in, left-handed shot, no good, and Turpin's going to come down. Throws up a shot off the glass, does not fall
Gunther.
in.
Is that Greg Gunther?
Yeah.
With the hustle?
No, Gunther's down here. That's Greg Van Etten.
Okay.
It's like we're going to have our first substitution. Yep, looks like we're going to have our first substitution for Anderson.
Snoffer looks like he needs some oxygen.
We got wholesale changes.
And you got to help me out on this one.
All right, here we go. Ready? Chris France is ready to take the ball out of bounds. That's Mike Lears, Doug Taylor, Warren Beebe, and Chris Tucker in for the Redskins.
And it looks like how they're doing it for, I guess, for both teams is going by order maybe of years maybe.
5 in, 5 out. That's Doug Taylor with the ball.
And not a good pass. It's going to be stolen. Turpin coming down the other way. They got giving it up, layup up and good.
That's that teamwork Turpin.
There you go.
Anderson.
Unselfish play.
Throws a bad pass
There
and
we
Turpin
go.
steals it. And going to go up.
What a move.
Throws a shot, no
was
good.
out there.
Rebound. Shot is no good.
Francis takes care of the boards.
Well, I can see that nobody's helping on the Turpin end on the rebound side.
It was 2 on 5 right there.
Yeah.
Warren Beebe with the ball for the Redskins, thrown into Chris Tucker. Bobbled the
And
ball
it's
out
going
of
to go out
bounds.
of bounds. I believe it's going to go. Ooh, it says it's going to stay with Anderson.
Some home cooking right. Oh, no. That's some visiting cooking right there.
So Francis taking the ball out of bounds for Anderson. Looks like he walked a couple times, 3,
That's
4
okay.
times. But
Yeah, but there's a rule if you're over 40.
shot from the side is no good. Rebounded by Anderson.
I think that's Mike Lears taking that shot. Is that Mike Lears?
Mike Lears,
Yeah.
yep, with his brother on him.
Francis gets it inside, try to throw it down low, but it's going to be stolen by Turpin.
Oh!
Coming down the other way, Turpin misses
Oh,
it.
Jimmy, you got to put that in. We need a points. I think he wants the 3, yep.
And basket's good.
And there it's for 3.
So they cut it now to 14-8, just like we talked about last year in the game. Turpin broke out in the big lead. Anderson came back, and looks like Turpin coming back now in. It's 14-8. Try to get it inside. Francis gets it, and he gets fouled, so he'll be on the line.
What's the coach's name at Anderson again?
Phil Sinkovich.
Sinkovich.
Phil Sinkovich. Sinkovich.
So we got Chris Francis will be on the line. Got about, 2:02 to go?
It's a new rule. Since these guys have been out of basketball, out of high school, they've moved everybody back one.
Yeah, well.
So you can only have 3 on the line.
We didn't play with a 3-point line either.
Yeah, sure.
I've had that conversation with Mark Reed after last year's game. He was such a good shooter.
Yeah, how many points could he have had?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know.
Mark Reed and Rick Elliott and all those guys, man. Foul called on Warren Beebe.
Are they going to try to do this, you think, every year? Is they going to try to?
I'd like to see it happen. I'd like to see it get more and more classes involved. It's a lot of fun. The guys have a great time getting involved.
Wow, Jim Larratt's hits a three-pointer.
But we try and have a pre-game training session. Last year was at Salem Gardens. This year was at Flip Daddy's, if you've been there yet.
Yeah, I've been there.
So we try and get together. Jim Whitesides, who started the game, he lives in St. Louis, and he drove up just for the day last year and to go to Salem Gardens, and this year to go to Flip
Wow,
Daddy's.
really, that's big. So Jim Larratt tried to pass it inside, and ball goes good out of bounds. It'll be Anderson's basketball.
Yeah, it looks like on our roster, Greg Gunther gets the nod for longest distance traveled, living in San Francisco.
Well, he's interesting. He's a information technology consultant. He actually lives in San Francisco, and he's doing a long-term consulting job on the East Coast. So he works Monday through Friday out in Connecticut or Vermont, I forget what it is, and then his mom's still here in town, so he'll spend the weekends here. So lives in San Francisco, but probably haven't been to his house in quite a while.
Chris Tucker with good defense for the Skins, knocks the ball out of bounds.
Got a score of, what do we got, 17-11?
I can't see that one more.
Less than a minute to go in the first.
The first quarter. Unfortunately, I can't show the scoreboard with the basket in a way.
Well, you could.
Yeah, it wouldn't look very good. Going to try to get it inside. Turpin bring it back outside. Try to throw it back in.
Too many passes.
And Anderson's going to have the basketball.
Well, Kevin Cash joined us this year. That's Kevin just playing defense there. He works for a law firm in Cleveland. He came down for the game.
Got another air ball there. We've seen a lot of those tonight.
What a move.
No basket. Basket is no good.
Lid on the basket.
Intimidated the shot.
There's another steal. Kevin Cash, don't give it up.
So Larratt's going to have to hurry up and fire up a shot. No good. And
6 seconds left.
Get a hand in his face.
Fires up a shot. No good. So that'll be the end of the first quarter. 17-11 our score. So pretty not too bad though, you know, for that first quarter.
And,
so it looks like we're going to have the Turpin cheerleaders come out and do a little bit of a cheer.
Hey,
I think the most surprising part of that second half of the quarter was Chris Francis had 0 fouls.
Yeah, exactly.
We thought we'd lose him early.
Yep.
We have a suggestion for next year. Spend the extra buck and put a number on the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would help us out.
That'll help us out big time.
So
I appreciate you coming up here, though, because we would have been definitely lost without you up here helping us out on the Turpin side of it.
Well, my brother Dan and I laughed at the replay last year because John Raymond, who we've known for 100 years, and it was
nice.
All the Anderson guys and Kevin and Dan Keefe.
Yeah.
You're done shooting, Snoffer, all right? You're done shooting. You are too.
So it looks like we might have, we do have a new group in here.
I said that was Snoffer's first basket in an Anderson uniform ever.
So look, Turpin cheerleaders doing a nice job there. We got a new group. We got Ty Burdick, my brother Moose, Dave Julio, Joe Moon, and Zoglio. Looks like it's in a game for Anderson.
Yep.
So going with the younger of the groups, I guess.
So is Turpin. You got Scott Nelson down there.
Scott Nelson, and we got Eric Miller. We have a couple new guys, Mick Shea and Jeff D'Angelo. And then Gary Hardawig did just show up.
Yeah,
he wasn't here for announcing.
I think he should be benched, Gary Hardawig.
Gary's my brother's roommate for a while.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and
he's
bench
a good
him.
guy, long-time basketball
Steve,
coach.
I think Steve went from rooming with Dan to rooming with Gary.
Yeah, that's a great change right there.
He upgraded.
Yeah, he did upgrade. So Julio bringing the ball. I might be a little bit more familiar with these guys now. Joe Moon gives it to Moose, to Zoglio, back to Ty.
Look at the ball movement, Dan.
It's the younger guys now.
You know, they're going to be dead in 30 seconds.
Well, Anderson's going to miss Sean Burdick because he was a superstar last year and came up with an injury. I guess he's got a couple injuries this year.
Well, he's also, what I understand, I work with him, and he's got the daughter dance tonight, and he missed it last year.
Oh, yeah. That's
see what Gary does. Gary needs to break a sweat before he takes a shot, right?
And it looks like they're doing a little trap now. How about Turpin?
Oh.
They're going to pick up a foul, but last rebound down there. How about that Moose getting a rebound down here?
Clean in the glass.
He wanted in the box score.
Look at Joe posting up.
Get it to Tyler Burdick down in the corner. Get it to Moose.
At the high post, dishing out the ball.
I think Moosey wants it. Ty got it inside. And Moose, get on the ground, Moose.
There we go.
Gary takes the ball.
You got to go to the hole.
Gary Hardawig bringing it in, pulls up for a shot. No good.
warm-ups.
Tipped up and around.
There you go.
And up and in.
That's Mick Shea. Mick Shea, class of 98. He's a first-time player.
Those guys are too young. That's not fair.
So they're going to bring a score to 17-13. Is that
guy.
correct? I can't see the scoreboard.
Yes.
Joe Moon firing up a deep three.
From downtown, trying to look at Yancey Gates' bank shot. That's what he's trying to do.
Ooh, throws it to Moose.
I think they've seen a weakness in the ball handling. So they've gone to trap him. Who is that?
That was Scott Nelson taking the ball in.
Uh-oh.
Someone get hurt?
But it was
Moon.
Joe going to the
Moon.
wall. Joe was going to the wall.
Was it Julio? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Julio.
Yeah, I think they
Trying to get him get him rattled.
yeah.
Julio to Zoglio.
See what Anderson tries to get the ball inside. Ty Burdick got it knocked away. Get it into Moose.
Uh-oh. Body him. You need to body that man.
Belly up.
Oh, there's
Got it
another
knocked
steal.
away.
Look at these guys. Gary, one on none.
It's like now we got what do we got? Is that a tie ball game now?
17s.
Just like we thought, man.
I'm hoping these guys have the lead. I go in 4 minutes, so
Do you need to get down there?
I think I'm
All right,
gonna
man.
I'm gonna go right down here in the corner and hold the ball. They can stay in the zone.
All right. Well, if
So
you got to get down
I'll try
there.
and send Rick Anderson up here.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks for your help.
guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kevin. Take care.
Shot is no good by Julio.
Scott Nelson brings the ball back down this way. Dashes it over to Mike McShay. Oh, to
Get it down
Hardawig in the corner.
Joe Moon, stellar defense. Got it down in the corner now. As you said, they got a lot of young guys as Turpin.
Yeah. Shot from the top of the key, no good. Rebound
By Moose. Moose with the rebound. Rebounds just like his brother.
Unofficial stats say that he's leading the team in boards.
Absolutely. And he's bringing the ball up the court, too.
Hey,
Kind of like baby Shaq.
Baby Shaq.
Ty gets the ball inside.
Not sure what to do.
And he
it up
puts it
and
up and in. How about that, Ty Burdick? And he's limping now.
He'll take next week off.
So Ty puts it up and in. It's going to make it 19-17 Turpin. Throw it across to Hardawig. Hardawig's going to fire up a shot. No good. Rebounded by Turpin. Hardawig again.
Hey, it's 19-17,
Fires up another
man.
one. Good.
Oh, three-pointer for Hardawig. That puts Turpin up 20-19.
So the young guys for Anderson got rid of the lead here, the short lead that they did have.
You know, it's those older guys that went in there and got the lead.
Oh, Ty's wide open. Moose gets it into Ty, and I don't know what Ty knew what he was doing.
What was he waiting for? Please.
What was Ty doing?
He was waiting to get fouled so he could take the free throws.
So Ty Burdick will be on the line, class of 1985, went on and played at Toledo.
This says 87.
No, that's wrong. 85, he graduated a year
I thought
before
he was
me.
older than you.
And then he also played at Toledo, and he played professionally a little bit there for the Seahawks. So,
well, he and Sean could punt the ball, man.
Oh,
God.
And Ty Burdick is, have you ever seen him play softball, can crush the ball.
Reminds me a lot of myself back in the day.
That's what I was thinking. It's like we're going to have a timeout called by Turpin, maybe?
Sure.
So Anderson is up 20-19 here.
Turpin's up 20-19.
Excuse me, no.
Yeah. Turpin's home.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you. I'm with you. If you're out there, anybody can drop us an email at uspnsports@yahoo.com. Let us know where you're listening from.
Hey, put the camera on the Indian.
Dan Albers, Brad Ellis here from Turpin High School.
Not knowing what we're doing at all?
No, we have no clue what we're doing.
Hey, what is Coach Dan Bartholomew doing on the Turpin side?
Well, he coached at Turpin, and he was AD at Turpin for a while. So,
I know.
But current coach of Anderson High School, so we'll have to get on him about that.
Where does that alliance come, you know?
Ty, that's true. Ty Burdick on the line to complete his second shot here. Missed the first one. Free throw on the way. Shot left-handed is no good. Is he a left-handed shooter? I didn't think he was. Coming back down the other way now is Turpin.
That's Blake Zimmerman. That's Newton.
Blocked by Ty Burdick. And
that's Zimmerman. Give it to Keefe. And
puts
puts it
up
in.
Wow. And he gets the fist pump.
The what? The piss pump?
The piss pump. The fist pump. So the young guys come out. And they're going to have another rotation of guy. And you're pretty much going to see this throughout the game.
Yeah. Anderson goes with the starters that got them the lead.
So rotating guys in and out.
Turpin stays with those young guys that got him the lead.
Again, last year Anderson won this. They were losing and they came back and won in the second half.
Snoffer taking right up.
Pulls up at the free throw line, throws a shot. Good. Wow.
Why not?
So Snoffer makes it.
Snoffer's got at least 7 points. I'm not really sure how many, but this is Blake Zimmerman, class of 03, by far the youngest one out there.
Absolutely. He fakes a three-pointer. Ty Burdick trying to give the referee a hard time, telling him he can't count down there.
Yeah.
And get it out to Nelson. He's going to fire up a deep three-point shot. Good.
Nice shot by Scott Nelson.
And they've got the 25-21 lead. Get it inside now. Little hooker.
Little
shot
baby
is
hook.
No good.
Jack takes the ball back.
Get it down in the corner to Seibert.
Brian Leary trying to clear him out for him.
Oh, it's a three-pointer.
Three. Kevin Keefe slow on to get out there.
Coming down is going to be Nelson again. He hit that big three-pointer earlier for Turpin.
Both teams going to that 2-3 zone.
And bringing it around. Nelson's going to fire up another three. No good. And it's going to be rebounded by Anderson.
Tim Rupert bringing the ball up. Over to Seibert.
Trying to get it. Oh, he might have walked. They didn't call it. They're going to let things go. So these guys grabbing each other.
Seibert says, fine, I'll move back a little bit.
Quickly going to get it up now to Nelson. And he gets hammered. So going to be on the line here.
That age difference is not fair either, you know what I'm saying?
I just think it's coaching. Sinkovic has to do a better job. Three-pointer.
Blake Zimmerman for three.
So coming down the other way now is going to be Anderson. Anderson trailing 28-24. Not a good pass. Nelson's got it now. Nelson's going to take it up and in.
I think Coach's got to get on him about defense a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So Anderson trailing here now, 30-24. Got about a minute 35 to go in this first half.
Ooh.
Ball goes through the hands, and Turpin's going to have it. It's like these young guys taking it to the old guys there.
Ball goes out of bounds, back to the Redskins with 1:15 left in the half. 30-24, Turpin in the second quarter. What was that?
He was counting for himself. He was going one. Teams want him to make the call.
I dare you.
So Anderson trailing 30-24. We're getting ready to go on our minute. We're going to fire a
Jack
deep
Kaniski
three-point.
fires from
Shot
deep.
no good. And
Kevin Keefe clears the
with
board.
the rebound. He's going to take it all the way down. Kick it
That
out.
no-look pass.
Throws up a shot. Said he walked. Faked out. Who was that?
Steve Snopper.
Steve Schnoffer got faked out.
Somebody help that guy up.
Again, at halftime, we're going to have the wrapping ropes from Sherwood Elementary. We'll try to keep that on. As much tape as we can get, we'll try to keep it on. We get it down in the corner now. 38 seconds. And it's going to be a jump ball.
Ball goes back to Turpin.
Again, you can drop us an email at uspnsports@yahoo.com. Let us know where you're listening from. Again, this game will be back on Anderson Community Television as well as having it on our website.
Scott Nelson with the ball. From three.
No
good.
Gets the
Rebound, Mark
puts it up.
Knudsen.
No
Rebound,
good.
Zimmerman.
And he's going to get fouled.
Turpin Spartans beating the Redskins on the board. And the youngest one by far, Blake Zimmerman's at the line. Blake Zimmerman, class of 03, just got fouled by Brian Leary, class of 78.
Free throws, no good.
That's not fair.
I think what's the oldest?
20,
what's the
76, 76 is Jack.
And free throws no good. Rebounded by Anderson. They got about 15 seconds to go in this half. Anderson trailing 30-24.
Well, you know, the oldest Turpin graduates can only be from the class of 78.
Shot is no good. And they're going to have to hurry up. You're going to have to hurry up and fire up a shot. I don't think it's going to count. No good. So that's going to be halftime of our game here on Anderson Community Television, USPN Sports. And we're going to have, I believe, the Nagel Nighthawks maybe coming on.
Okay.
We'll see what we can do here. I don't know. Do you want to keep going? We can keep going, or we can.
Want to recap? Redskins came out firing on all cylinders. Took about a 17-7 lead. Made some substitutions. Turpin came back with some young guns. Brought him back. Took the lead. Scored at halftime. Turpin 30, and it's 24.
I don't know if I'm going to have enough tape here.
You can cut it if you want.
So maybe we'll get the Nagel Nighthawks real quick, and then maybe switch some tapes here. So we'll get the Nagel Nighthawks. Obviously, that's the.
How many are there?
There's a lot. A lot.
There's 100 or 200.
Leaving? Huh? So we got the Nagel Nighthawks here. We're going to see what they do.
I can do that.
There we go. Good, nice job, Nagel Nighthawks.
All right.
Well, we're going to see, probably have to turn it off here shortly, but hopefully we'll be done with the routine here and we'll regroup ourselves.
You're not going to have tape for the
Do me a
Rapid
favor.
Ropers?
Right on their first half, Anderson Turpin Alumni game first half. There's the Nagel Nighthawks doing a good job. What was that? I heard that. So good job here by the Nighthawks of Nagel. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back, hopefully, with the Sherwood Jump and Rupp and Ropers, whatever they're called. We'll be back right after this.
Rick, come up at all?
No, but we're okay.
We're going to change tapes real quick.
Internet, but
Well, these,
the Rapid Ropers from,
is that Sherwood?
yeah.
Sherwood, yeah. They were at UC game a couple
Yeah, these guys are awesome.
Oh, they are unbelievable. Of course, I grew up in Sherwood.
Those are awesome.
All right.
They're Rapid Rubs from Sherwood.
Back on the cable side of it now. Still on the internet part. So the what are they? The Rapid Ropes?
Yeah.
Hey, what was the fist pump? We saw the fist pump going on after you scored that basket.
Scored 2 points. I met my high school average.
That was pretty
I
big.
predicted I'd throw 2 down on Anderson tonight. I did. So.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, I'm tired already. Just watching.
Well,
it's amazing.
It was a great pass by Blake Zimmerman. I just happened to be standing in the lane for 6 or 7 seconds, and they got it to me.
So they got the, you see here, the Sherwood Rapid Ropes.
Under the direction of Deb Sullivan.
Absolutely, yep. Brian Sullivan, athletic director at UC Claremont and an Anderson grad. So good to see that. So Turpin's got that lead, 30-24. Did they have the lead last year?
And then at halftime, of course, we had the young bucks that came in, and then Sean Burdick got hot, and Elliott and Reed came in, and that was the end of the story. So I think we probably have four or five more players than Anderson, so we may outwin them per se.
You're deeper. Your bench is deeper.
So
it looks like, crowd's getting a lot bigger. It's a pretty nice crowd.
yeah, I'll tell you what, last year's crowd,
it's phenomenal, wasn't it?
Unbelievable, and it was really, for me, it was a once in a lifetime. Well, it was the second time here, obviously, but to have Dick Sander come back to
Yes.
coach,
Yeah.
I mean, he early on was a very a mentor to me, and then guys that I really looked up to as a young player, like Elliott and Becker and
Reed.
of course, Reed and Dotson, even Seibert.
Well,
those guys were a year older than me, but.
Speaking of that, how hard was that when you guys were all friends? Obviously, you went there freshman, sophomore year, and then you split.
Yeah.
Was that a pretty hard thing to do? I mean, because you had so many friends
Well, it was interesting because we've all kept friends. I mean, class of '78, we still do all our reunions together between Anderson and Turpin.
That's pretty cool.
We all stayed pretty close. For a lot of us that went to Turpin, it was a great opportunity because Anderson kept all the seniors. So we came to Turpin as freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So without that, I would have never had the opportunity to play.
Right.
I would have never made the team behind Reed, Dotson, and Seibert and those guys.
So I know as the first year Turpin was open with no seniors, I actually beat Anderson in football with no seniors.
Right.
Yeah, with Rick Haynes.
Yeah, Rick Haynes. They had Tim Luganbuehl played.
Yeah.
Bill Newton was
Right.
a superstar on defense, and
Well, Anderson wasn't a powerhouse.
well, yeah. I don't think either one of them for a long time.
But let me say this: 4 years of high school, 2-38.
Yeah. I mean, I was brutal too. So,
That's the only way somebody like me played.
well, when are you going back into the game? You're going to go back in again?
I think I'm starting the third quarter.
Are you really?
Yeah, so we're mixing it up a little bit. Last year we had 5 guys from 78, 79, 5 guys from 80,
Right.
81.
So you went that way?
We did that, and like we've got the 2 Cashes coming in to play together as brothers, and I think I'm going to play with my brother.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, so we're going to mix it up a little bit, and we came here to win for sure, and so we're hoping the fourth quarter we got all our A players in. Actually, I'm not going to start the third. I think I might start the fourth.
Oh, so it is really neat to see all the everybody that I remember, back playing, and brings back a lot of memories. And
Well, there's even more guys too that are here that aren't playing that are
Right.
smart enough not to play.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we got a list of guys that, Bruce Hellman a month ago had a skiing accident in Colorado, and he's got to have shoulder surgery. Rick Haynes, who missed last year's game because he had just taken the Lakota East football job and had a booster event, and he just had his labrum repaired on his hip January. So he's out. He said he's available for free throws. And then Tim Hirschauer, he just I think he was a little overmatched last year and size-wise, so he decided to bring his mom and entertain her tonight. Jay Taney, he's here, and he just has 2 knees that barely work, so he can't play.
Hey, I've seen Tom lately, but I haven't seen him here.
No, I thought he was coming. He usually is here, and we would have loved to have him. He's got some knee issues also, so we're hoping to keep this thing going and get younger classes going because. Everybody that's an Anderson Turpin alum should be involved in this thing and spread the wealth a little bit.
So will they keep rotating Anderson Turpin for games?
I think so.
Yeah.
Basketball season's over. I think Anderson used to hold some
the
first round
division.
tournaments.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore.
They're, so the gym's available and.
Hey, I was just looking at this. Ty's the youngest one out there.
Who?
Ty Burdick.
For Anderson?
Yeah.
Really?
Class,
Is he really?
Class of 85 is the youngest.
Is that right?
So that's what
amazing.
Anderson needs, some young guys.
Yeah. Well, and that's what they should. I mean, like I said, I think Jerry Schott, he didn't play this year, but like with Reed coming from San Francisco and Elliott from Atlanta, it was a really special night, and I think those guys, it's hard to relive that.
Absolutely.
Hey, do you know that there's an Anderson grad who's the president of the LPGA?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mike Wan. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea what class it was.
83, graduated with Moose. 83.
I know it's somewhere around it because I was coaching softball at Anderson, during that time. But president of the LPGA.
Yeah, isn't that
really
impressive? Well, I mean, just like I was telling Laritz when I was interviewing him, it's like the Anderson Turpin thing was always heated when we played each other, but then we've all kind of gotten older.
It's still a community.
It is. It's still a community, but the thing is neat is telling him, watching him and saying, hey, man, he went to Turpin High School and he had a home run for the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's like that. How cool was that,
Well, and that's the thing that I think we have. There's a class probably of 78, 79, 80 maybe that even had any kind of correlation. These kids now, they don't know that
Absolutely.
we were actually one school.
Yeah.
And,
and if you're talking about that, there's been some talk about going back to that. And I don't know if people really want to do that, because of what they've established. Each school's established, and like you said, some kids might not get to play if they combine two schools together.
I have to tell you, I live in Mason. When I moved back to town in 2003, my office was in Mason, so coming back to Anderson was just going to be a tough commute. So we moved to Mason, and the more I look at it, there's 3,000 kids in the school.
Yeah.
There's still 12 guys on the basketball team.
Right.
There's still 15 guys on a baseball team.
Even more than that, you're talking about band, you're talking about, like drama and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they're really good because they have that many to pull from, but
it's good and bad. It's good and bad because it could make other kids work harder and want to make. But then also, again, like you said, there's kids that are late bloomers.
Yeah.
And if they didn't get a chance to play, then.
You made a great point in terms of the music. Anderson and Turpin's always had great arts, you know, from choirs to band to plays and musicals. So now they got twice that. So it's open to the community, and I just think, like I said, it gives kids more opportunity. And number one, if they went to one high school, I'm sure they'd have to build a new one. And the
I would
money's not
think.
there for that.
Well,
and where?
Yeah, well,
where?
I mean, my guess is if they did that, they would make one building like 10 through 12 and have a freshman building. And go something like that.
Jamie, do you think it'll get to that point, or do you think that no one's going to do that?
Well, you know, I think they voted, the community voted against it, or kind of in a survey.
The surveys proved that the community was overwhelmingly against it.
Yeah, but I read something in the paper this week that they're at least bringing it back up for discussion.
Because of all the money issues in every district, it's every district, they have to at least consider it. That doesn't mean it's the answer, but they have to at least consider it.
Here comes Superstar. I think he wants some airtime. Why don't you talk to my friend? You're on.
Yeah, let Turpin get all the airtime. Are we on TV right now?
Yeah, we're on TV and we're on the internet right now, too.
Oh, okay.
So, hey, thanks for your help, man. All right.
I guess Kevin wants to tell you how great Turpin was, huh?
Joining us now is Jack Kaninsky, class of 76, current varsity baseball coach from Madeira High School.
And Jack, just let's talk a little bit about this. We've talked to all the guys that come up here, and last year was really, really neat. I mean, it was neat for me being a younger guy. My brother played in '83, so I got to watch the '81, '82 Anderson teams.
Sure,
and seeing those Anderson Turpin games were so heated. The crowds were great. But coming back, how special is this for you to come back and see some of your former teammates and Turpin guys?
You know, it's a lot of fun because actually Turpin was not even around when I graduated high school. I graduated '76, and Turpin opened a year after I graduated, and their first graduating class was '78. So I'm definitely the senior member out there right now. I'm a 76 graduate. Last year we had a lot of 76 graduates, but they played so well last year. We went out afterwards, and they said they wanted to go out on a high note, so a lot of the guys didn't come back this year. And they had a long way to come, too. You know, Rick Ellie came from Atlanta last year.
Sure.
Well, Mark Reed was from 77, and he came from San Francisco and was only in town about 24 hours to play the game last year. So.
Wow.
But it's a lot of fun out there. You know, we got off that good start, but some of those younger guys are taking it to us out there. Now.
Well, some of the younger guys are a little quicker than the older guys.
You know, they said one guy graduated 2003, which makes him about 26.
Yeah.
And I'm 52, so, you know.
That's right there.
Man, that's a tough matchup down there.
Yeah. Because those 52-year-olds, when you pass it, it gets through.
Yeah.
That 26-year-old takes it and goes the other way.
We've had a lot of fumbles out there. And,
looks like we're out here. They got those mascots. The mascots out there.
What's he a mascot for?
Nago Nighthawks.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Now this guy must be the Sherwood.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know they had all that. They never had those mascots when I was around. All we had was a redskin.
That's all we needed, right?
That's all we needed back then, man. It's neat to come back here, though. Like I said, I never came to this gym, but my brother's 5 years younger, and he graduated from Turpin.
Kurt.
My sister is 12 years younger.
Jeannie.
She was here, so it was nice to come back here. I actually did my student teaching here. So I did my student teach under Dave Lawson.
Oh, really?
So this is where I basically started my teaching career.
Well, that's good.
It's it's fun to come back.
I mean, how is it? You know, some of these guys I don't even know if you know that you're playing with. Do you know most of the guys that you're down there playing with?
Well, I know Paul Seibert was a year behind me, and Chris Tucker was a year behind me. Brian Leary was a year behind me. A lot of those guys are younger, though, so Snoffer, I knew Steve Snoffer. But, just from playing in the game last year, a few of those guys played last year, so I got to meet them last year. And it was a lot of fun last year, come back and just meeting all those guys because, once you get in college and, I was pretty busy when I was in college, and I left town for a little while. I didn't get to see the Anderson and Turpin games, so.
So again, we're just showing some of the halftime festivities. I think I might be showing too much because we might run out of tape here.
Oh, jeez.
Well, cut the cable side, and we'll just talk on the internet. So
we're going to be off on the cable side of it, but
now you're the varsity coach over at baseball coach over at Madeira,
right?
And you've got I know you've got a sophomore named Benintendi. That's a pretty good ball player.
Right. He's pretty special. He started last year as a freshman, hit over 500, had 20 doubles. I think when it's all said and done, he'll be probably the best player I've ever coached at Madeira. He's really pretty special. Played 2 years of varsity basketball, averaged about 18 points a game this year.
Right.
He's about 5'9", can jump up and almost dunk a basketball right now. So he's a pretty special athlete. He's a big-time baseball player. He's a good basketball player. First-team All-Lake type guy, but he'll be he'll be a guy that might be able to go play some big-time college baseball.
Well, you know what? He's pretty lucky to play for a guy like Jim Reynolds and a guy like yourself in baseball. So, you got some two quality coaches right there. Jim Reynolds is a great guy. So
we like to think that we got some good coaches over there. We've had a fair amount of success and been pretty lucky with players, too. We get some pretty nice players. I'm kind of in a weird situation. My son's a senior there now. So,
that's right.
So he's been a 4-year player.
Son
for me.
Cody, and where's he looking?
Well, it's really strange because all of his life he thought, he was going to be a college baseball player. Then he put together a big football season this year. So now he's visiting some schools for football. He hasn't made a decision yet. He's had a few offers for baseball. A couple, pretty big schools have offered, but
good.
He just hasn't decided where he's.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of neat to go through that recruiting process, and it's kind of neat to have him call your son, and it's a different kind of proud, because you realize other people are seeing what he can do, and other people are evaluating rather than yourself.
You like to think your kids are good, but it's nice to hear somebody else tell you that.
Yeah, it's probably one of the hardest things to do is coach your own son in high school because, if they're good enough to play as a freshman, that causes some problems, and then but he made it easy on me from his sophomore year on. He's been a pretty big player for us, so it wasn't like there was any issues as far as playing time or anything like that because some people like to think that your kid's playing because you're a son, but
they always say that stuff.
We've gone through that a little bit with my brother coaching a little bit for several years at Anderson with some of the nephews going through. So
yeah, it's a tough call. I know. I usually look to my assistant coaches for help on that, just to make sure they get an evaluation that's not his dad.
So what's your rotation? When are you going back into the ball game?
I just finished that second half, so I'll probably sit the whole third quarter and play some of the fourth quarter. The plan is that we're going to rotate every 4 minutes, and that last 4 minutes, who's ever still standing.
See, I'm pretty surprised nobody's been taken out on a stretcher yet. That's good.
Joe almost.
I thought Joe was going through the wall.
Man, I thought he was going to end out by the football field. He went out the door, and I didn't know whether he was coming back in or not. And Doug took a couple mean falls out there, too.
Well, Snoffer took one. Yeah,
Snoff's played awful well, though. Snoff looks like he can still play a little bit.
Yep. Snoff's hit a couple threes.
Yeah, he's played really well. It's he's one of the guys who's kept us in this game, to be honest with you.
Yep.
It's been pretty ugly since that 14-3.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's been 27.
Yeah.
10 since then.
Yeah, but last year, too, if you remember the game last year, I believe Turpin jumped out big time. Anderson came back, and then towards the end there, Sean Burdick got hot and kind of carried him.
I'll tell you what happened last year. We got down about 13 at half, and Coach Sander and Coach Hawkins came in and said, listen, we're going to play our old guys against our young guys. If you remember, our old guys started the game last year, so it was Rick Elliott, Rick Becker, Paul Seibert, Jerry Schott, and I forget who the other guy was. But, it was Mark Reed.
Yeah.
So what happened is we kind of chipped away the second half, got within 4. I mean, we were up 4. We were up 4 going to the final 4 minutes, and they brought in all their young guys. Their young guys kind of got them out to 13-point lead at half, and we ended up beating them by 13. So we went out to Skyline afterwards, and those guys said that they were going to make that their last alumni game and go out in a blaze of glory,
That's pretty good.
But I tell you what, Jim Laris looks good out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
does.
does.
Some threes.
Yeah, he does. And then Scott Nelson hit a deep 3 there for Turpin, man.
I let him shoot that. He was out in front of me. He was out by the volleyball line out there.
Yeah, Scott was a really good ball player in high school. And then he played 4 years at UC Claremont, did a really good job. Yeah, he played for Sinkovich out of Claremont.
That's what Sinkovich was saying. He said 3 of the guys on the court at one time had played for him at Claremont. And he said 2 of the other guys practiced with him. So, at least they were good enough to go to college and practice with the team.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to blame the deficit to Sinkovich. I think he needs to do a better job coaching.
Well,
I'm going to get on. Will you? Tell me the announcer.
I'll point you up here. I'll point up here.
Because he was my coach in high school. So,
is that right? Now, he was at Anderson, right?
Yeah. Right.
What years was